I gotta go a little bit farther into this, and actually, ah, go catch the first one, but it went an hour. Outside of the sexual energy component when in the first one, which I get, I wasn't comfortable with. Uh, Getting to the releasing DMT, horrible story about a maybe possible serotonin overload after days of meth abuse and massive hallucinations. But believing that we probably release quite a bit of our own chemicals to create some of or manifest some of the realities that terrify us, uh, enlighten us, or guide us, or other things. But mostly, I think for a lot of people, terrify them. And I think it comes from.
Oh, absolutely. You got a lower and a higher consciousness, they call. I say you have what is consciousness? It's perception. Consciousness is awareness, perception. Now, perception is neurology. The more neurological pathways are developed within your own brain, the more controlled you are to see more. That is
Yeah.
logical. And that is the purpose of our life. Some do it by making a beautiful chair. Some do it by learning many languages.
Yep.
Some do it through making podcasts possible. Some do it.
That it's the education I don't regret. The constant search for knowledge, and then the ability to even, and there's people on the channel that have pointed it out, picking up a few things that get past a lot of people. Um, I I believe, especially since the drawing class on, when I learned to draw, I don't draw. I'm not an artist. I took. It turns out you can learn to draw when you figure out how to look. Yeah, take in empty spaces. The shadow's not just a shadow. There's stuff in the shadow, but you can't just miss that. But you have to go on. But you're taking that in a second because it's only a shadow. The tree is really what's more important. But then the way the light and the shadow play on the tree make it way more complicated than just the tree. And then if you look up recall drawing and you understand why box houses and puffy clouds and pointy um, mountains are a thing, you'll see that most people don't look very deeply. They don't take in. I think driving's a good place to prove that now, but they don't. They don't try to. They don't take in as much as what's being talked about here, and I count myself blessed to say that I know I absorb way more than people around me. It irritates people sometimes. It's weird.
By serving others with coffee and tea. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to.
It's what was the name of the 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 place that got nailed for it though? It's a lot more than spending a couple days on that, neuroplasticity. There's a commercial, that website, you play a couple games and they're telling you that this is going to happen. They got sued, I think. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Uh, Now, at the same time, you go and learn to write your name, sign your name ambidextrously, you'll create new neural pathways. But you better get that together so you can actually do it. But you'll create new pathways. Shit'll grow. It don't have a choice. You're gonna make it grow. That's what's cool. This is awesome.
Podcasts possible. Some do it by serving others with coffee and tea. It does not matter. Whatever it takes to expand your own consciousness, to bring it to from a lower consciousness, animalistic, to this brain, the human brain consciousness, that is connection. And it's done inside the brain. And now we found, once again, it's no pill, it's no drug, it's you, yourself. By the way, we say, get high on your own supply. And get into this breathing. In the beginning of this podcast, you said, Yeah, I did this breathing, and
I'm packing a bowl as he said that, so I'm sorry. Fog of the Dog references re-smoking a bowl after I smoked a lot of joints on 420. And the only defense I have is I am one of those individuals who appears to be able to smoke all the time, but then still function at a pretty high level. Uh, um, and I think I wrecked my boys the other day. I'm pretty sure uh, uh, I was able to pack a little more than everyone was prepared for. And I just like, this is a normal day at the office.
deemed
So, never an endorsement, but I'm not going to pretend that I don't. Uh, be a lot cheaper if I could just tap into it, but I got to believe the breathing and the yoga is a lot more time than I have to schedule in.
high on your own supply.
I'm
And
sorry.
get into this breathing. In the beginning of this podcast, you said,
What a hypocrite.
yeah, I did this breathing, and this DMT. Yeah, even we are able through these pneumatic manipulated exercises through the breath and pressurizing and to get into the deepest part of the brain, which also is activated during the REM sleep, the deep sleep. That's the DMT. The DMT, and it's to release trauma. And it's also bloody nice. It's like a drug, and we are able to activate that. But so what I say is, we are able to become more than the normal. Superhuman means we are actually born to be great, to feel great, not in the eyes maybe of others, but once you feel great, you radiate greatness. Yeah. You radiate like love. It's like sanity, and people are positively affected. This is going to change the world. And once again, it's no religion, but it's divine. And that's who we are.
Oh, I love that. It is a spiritual. There's a spiritual component because whether it was in the one that back there, the first one, or this, um, there's a will component. There's a drive that is not of. It is greater than yourself. Like if you need the blueprints, they're all like, it's energy wavelength frequency you created. Blah 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 blah. I take all that shit for granted. I love thought. I love spending time thinking about stuff. Nothing happens without the thought first. I thought and imagined and probably manifested much longer, much earlier than I would care to admit. It's very important.
And that is only done by setting the mind. But first, make the right conditions. That is the chemistry should be right, and the transportation of the chemistry throughout the body to all the cells, to the DNA should be done. And that's where I am right now,
right,
with the new study on the DNA. Yeah.
That's awesome. I highly recommend what was said here over how I think I do things. We're gonna get one more. I just
good
morning. Stop. Oof, that was rough. Fourth. Okay, what do we got here?
Most people know what it feels like to be in a state of harmony and flow, where our hearts and minds are working together, and there's a genuine connection with others involved. Yeah. It's easy to love this experience of synergy.
Now, because she had to move on, but anybody who was around during the couple's reactions, it's in the comments over there. It makes me, my cheeks don't lie. I find, if you're saying the same thing at the same time, there's moments where live in a technological world, but there's moments where we call each other right at the same time, damn near. I have that, I believe, with Ange, very much so. Um, we created life. We weathered storms, jumped over hurdles, and now get to celebrate making it past all that. So I resonate with this off the bat. If people are looking for that, I feel for them. That is something that I now take for granted.
But oftentimes this happens by chance, rather than by design or intention. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to produce this flow on demand in our day-to-day communications, projects, and challenges?
No. Okay, up front, no. I in no way do I want to be connected with other people the way I'm connected with my loved one. At all. I don't want that energy to exist with something else. That's why it's special. I wouldn't not I if you think your business deserves that sort of special connection, you haven't paid dues in your life, and I'm sorry. But I don't believe in that. I'd struggle with right there. No, 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 no. I like I like achieving it by chance. It feels like it's actually special that way. Um, I don't want to be a Borg hive mind in any way. Because then, if we were all that well interconnected, the saddest of us would be keeping their circles in so much depression and sadness and morose that we'll never pull out. That's why it's structured the way it is, right? It's structured the way it is because the people who can get up every morning, go get it, and do something can. Nothing's holding you back from that, right? Nothing's holding me back from obtaining more. I just set the levels myself. But I certainly wouldn't want, you know, yeah, I don't want, that's weird. So don't get me wrong. I got to go on. I'm obviously jumping the gun here.
Research shows that when we shift into a coherent state, the heart and brain operate synergistically, like two systems that mesh into one. We can learn how to activate and sustain the synergy between the heart and brain and prevent stress-producing patterns, along with increasing our mental clarity and discernment capacity. When we do this, our creative solutions for personal, social, and global challenges.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's the trivium for me. Oh God, yeah. Look up the trivium, and so it's what is that? Knowledge, rhetoric. Basically, it's how well do you understand the things that are being said? How well do you take in the things around you? How well do you calculate what you've taken in, and then how well can you repeat that back to someone in a manner that they can understand? And it seems like a lot of people are looking for that, um, like some energy source to do that. And I always thought it was a learned skill set. That's why they only teach it at elite prep schools and shit like that. It's only that's where the occulted knowledge comes in. That So okay, here's where Passio comes into the whole thing, and we do go a little tinfoil hat crazy right now. Upon reflection, this moment makes me think that, yeah, the trivium is what I need, not a magical energy force to make me 100% more empathetic to everyone else's problems. I am 100% positive a lot of the problems that exist are celebrated and propped up by those who suffer from them. I'm pretty sure. I hope the volume hasn't been really bad this whole time. It could have been. I don't know. Sorry.
Become more accessible, providing us with more intuitive access and flow. Over the past 20 years, the Institute of Heart Math has produced coherence-building techniques that are intentionally simple and based on scientific research. Our mission theme is to simplify a process for intuitive connection to the soul's wisdom and guidance for unfolding who we truly are. New research suggests that our energetic or spiritual heart is an access point for our natural inner technology, the heart's intuitive intelligence, which can elevate our communications, decisions, and choices to a much higher level of effectiveness. One interesting finding from our research is that when people hold genuine core heart feelings such as appreciation or compassion, it naturally increases their heart coherence. We use the term energetics to refer to the systems that we can't see or touch. For example, our thoughts, emotions, and intuitions. The mind and heart feelings are energetic sources that underlie our thoughts and emotions. They're primary drivers of our biological systems and have a powerful influence on our behaviors, choices, and results. The intuitive, energetic heart is what people have associated with their inner voice throughout history. From our perspective, the energetic heart communicates a steady stream of intuitive information to the mind and brain, which in most cases we only use a small percentage of, because our ego choices overrides the intuitive suggestion. Access to our heart's intuition varies among people, yet we all have it. As we learn to slow down our mind and attune to our deeper heart feelings, our natural intuitive connection can occur. Intuition is like energetic gold. Intuitive insights often unfold more understanding of ourselves, others, issues, and life than years of accumulated knowledge. That's why the state of coherence is rapidly gaining interest. In this state, more and more people are reporting increased access to their heart's intuitive guidance, realizing it's within them, and with a little practice, it's easier to access than they thought.
Well, if I understand what they're saying, I mean, is this the young people saying they ain't got no inner monologue? They ain't got no... I ain't just wrote dialogue for the channel. I had a motherfucking DJ booth in there. I have a song. I tried to explain it to Ange once. There's usually a storyline, a song, a to-do list, bullet points of responsibilities and other stuff. There's all this stuff floating around. It's all just organized and sitting there, but it's accessible at literally all times. A lot of times just popping in there. I've been singing sea shanties for a week now because of Windrose. And then after years of getting myself right, I mean, loving the person in the mirror, being my own best friend. Okay. But, yeah. But I am. And then loving, caring for myself, and then actually believing in myself. And the intuition wise, I mean, doesn't everybody know? So my problem is sometimes I fear that people don't have any intuition because they don't actually understand morality no more. And if you understood that there's a subjective right and wrong and that certain things only can equate to a bad outcome. Passio and the natural law stuff uses gravity, but you can really flesh this out. And a good analogy right here is the influencer that thinks all people are kind, then ends up beheaded backpacking through a place they shouldn't have backpacked. All your belief doesn't change the current situation on the ground in observable reality. And I did pick something up from the William Reich stuff because I've been, making sure to mention that you have to observe the whole. It's not the part you're comfortable with, it's the whole fucking thing. And sometimes our biggest liabilities are everyone around us.
Research conducted in our laboratories has confirmed that when an individual is in heart coherence, the heart radiates a more coherent electromagnetic energy field that can benefit people, animals, and the environment. A growing body of scientific evidence suggests that when there is coherent group cooperation, it results in increased flow, effectiveness, and the potential for higher outcomes. It seems as though the group participants are not only in sync, but are communicating on an unseen energetic level. Our personal coherence can benefit our families, co-workers, friends, pets, and more.
Oh yeah,
simply
so that
by our
I come from
presence.
abuse. Sorry guys, I come from abuse, and this is a fantasy scenario right there. Dinner table is a place that you are quiet, learn your manners, learn discipline, and eat. I mean, that was 17 years of that conditioning. Wasn't angry, hateful. My brother took it as that, but it was not this shit. I was raised in a house that hated bounty commercials. Why did they hate bounty commercials? It gave you permission to spill without the repercussions of punishment. Now, you didn't need a belt. What you needed were consequences. Then it turns out spilling isn't something I'm okay with, even as an old man. I'm okay with that conditioning. That's much better than carefree, let's all go and have fun. So, I do come from a much more less smiley world. I guess that's why I'm a dick and a smartass and my jokes aren't family friendly.
From our research, we know that heart coherence is not an idle state. It reaches out, it influences and supports others in many beneficial ways.
And now, once again, after all of my bitching, I'll say, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I just think this is where, if you went down the Passio stuff, every wink, wink, nudge, nudge at the New Age movement leads me more in this direction and away from, let's say, the trivium to understand those I deal with on a proper level. Then what is it? The two pillars of the Masonic stuff. We're talking natural law masonry now, not pancake breakfast or Luciferian service, but personality. What is it? Personality and I can't remember. It's been a long time since I went down the Mason stuff, but basically, over on the natural law stuff, you have your personality. What do you, man, you have to overcome some stuff if they say you don't shine through to other people. And then if you don't understand other people, is there something missing that doesn't allow you to understand? Now, what I liked about the trivium and that kind of stuff, and realizing that in today's day and age, I got to bring it down here. It makes it hard though, because before people finish their sentences, you know exactly what they're trying to say. But that's, or there's the touchy feely, happier. There's a way that we're all gonna come together and we're all gonna rise up. I think what's behind the occulted veil is there's no evidence of that ever happening. There's no utopia. Utopia keeps you serving something you don't understand. Then there's the ability to make the most of the time in the flesh suit and create. Does it have to be for greed? Do you have moral obligation with the amount of creation you make? Maybe. Instead of creating a utopia, you have to create for within the boundaries that you're allowed to create in. Now, I mean, I don't say you can't hold out hope. Good luck. I still am on the other side of the polarity on this. I believe regional warlords are waiting for societal breakdown. And the people who want to hug first are gonna be in trouble.
Scientific evidence provides support for a global field environment that connects all living systems and consciousness. Many scientists believe that a feedback loop exists between all humans and the Earth's energetic systems. We are working together with other initiatives to realize the increased effectiveness of collective intention and cooperation. There are growing numbers of organizations with tools and techniques that facilitate increased art connection and collaboration with others. This evolves into a collective opening of the heart, which is a major step towards increasing social and global coherence. We call this heart-based living. IHM, through its Global Coherence Initiative project, is strategically placing 14 sensors around the world to measure the Earth's magnetic resonance. This global network will enable our scientific inquiry into the interconnections between the Earth's magnetic field and collective human emotions and behaviors. Science has shown that the Earth's magnetic field affects humans in profound ways, but our intention is to study how humans, as a collective, affect the Earth's magnetic field.
Come on! And right? Some werewolves, full moons, certain moments. Everyone knows the veil's closest around, Halloween, Samhain, whatever however you pronounce it. Right? If you know, you know.
Environment. Every individual's energy contributes to the global field environment.
Now, don't get me wrong. Behind the occulted veil, a lot of this going on. But that's where I get upset with the sexual energy component, because they put it on the altar, perform the grand rite, and they keep us enslaved. And this is all hopeful shit, but we will have to get rid of the people who covet and want to enslave first. There's no happiness when someone covets more shit, or you accept spiritual leaders you place on pedestals and allow to rain riches down upon. It's never going to work, because then you're always going to create create an environment that raises the covetous nature of man or womankind or squirrelkin kind to I want that shit. And I don't care what they say. There's no amount of energy field that's going to get through to everybody and make people stop wanting other people's shit until, well, maybe there is. I think you better get rid of regional warlords first, because I think other people have intentions for global planetary control that are way ahead of the global energy field's advancements.
And each person's thoughts, emotions, and intentions affects the field. A first step in increasing the coherence of the field environment is for each individual to take responsibility for their own energy. We can do this by becoming more conscious of the thoughts, feelings, and attitudes that we are feeding the field each day.
Oh, yeah, no,
Our hypothesis is that as enough individuals increase their heart coherence, it leads to increased social coherence. As a critical mass of cultures and nations become more harmoniously aligned, this can eventually lead to increased global coherence and sustainable peace.
Yeah. Man, the amount of regional differences you have to take and decide aren't important as you prop up others in this global agenda. I'm not holding out hope anymore. It got to them that sounds like it's secretly endorsed by the, World Monetary Fund. Sounds like there'd be a lot of dorms in the line that teach this shit. I didn't mean shit, and I'm sorry. I don't mean to be an asshole. This is all, I don't believe in a global system. You learn to fucking coexist, maybe, but this idea, a lot of the last 30 seconds there is a forced agenda. It wouldn't have happened naturally. And I don't empathize for, let's just be an asshole, go with this economic migration. It sounds like if you got the energy to economically migrate, you should have fucking had a revolution and freed your own nation.
Doc Childre, the founder of HeartMath, puts it this way: as more of humanity practices heart-based living, it will qualify the rite of passage.
Do I gotta pay for the heart-based living? Because I'll tell you that, I am not fond of that idea.
Living, it will qualify the rite of passage into the next level of consciousness. Using our heart's intuitive guidance will become common sense, based on practical intelligence.
I mean, I get what it's being. I get what's being said. I am not saying that. Gosh, good luck. Okay, I'm not trying to be. I disagree with their globalist identity and agenda, and what that has to rework in this society, in this planet. I'm just not cool with. So I'm, not really for that. But I am also not against some of the knowledge here at all. And I think behind the occulted veil, they know how to focus all of this shit to get what they want. My question would be, how do you deal with them? How do you not willingly feed what they're doing? When I'll double down, I'm positive most Catholics actually feed Luciferian values and they don't know it. They feed ritualistic behavior. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing in the Vatican, but I don't think they're turning your fucking energy to love and peace. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be just tinfoil hat crazy and think that mass movements are problematic, and I'm not waiting for the mothership to beam me up. I don't believe in a utopian state of higher consciousness while we're on the rock. I believe we're doing exactly with the rock that what we're supposed to do with it. And when you enter the energy field, hopefully you got your ducks in order and your shit will flow the right way. Or I hear you come back. I hear there's a collector and you get beamed down and you do it again. That'd be another whole one. I don't know enough about that one, but that's crazy. That is enough. I got to go. We better get one reaction so I can move on. Later.